So I started by asking how well the judiciary fared under the Buhari administration. But the other side is, how well do you think that the Buhari administration allowed the judiciary to thrive?
Well, let me tackle that question from two angles. The first is interference with the due process of law. The second is giving teeth to decisions of the judiciary. They're two different things. As far as I'm aware, I do not know of a single case where government has been alleged to personally interfere in the administration of justice. I'm not aware. Excuse me. Say that I've seen or heard of any. If I did, I will mention it. That's as far as interference is concerned. But it's also part of the whole system, how government allows orders of court and judgment to thrive. I certainly know of cases reported in papers of various orders and judgment given against government, or in which they're not happy, and which I understand they have not complied. I think is highly condemnable. It's unacceptable. They're merely inviting chaos. There are certain high-profile cases that I've read about that courts have made orders. A responsible government will obey a court order, whether he likes it or not, whether it suits it or not, because if they don't, again and again, I'm sorry to say that again, but we're inviting chaos. And they've done that in quite a number of cases.
There's this recent decision of the Supreme Court in the case of Pt.2 versus the federal government, which validated Section 306 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, outlawing stay of proceedings. It has continued to generate debate among lawyers, but what do you stand on the issue?
The principle of stay of execution of proceedings pending appeal, it's not just limited to criminal matters. The problem with those lawyers who are advocating something to the contrary is that they are so entrenched in the old way of thinking and are not willing to change. And it's amazing that Nigeria remains one of the very few jurisdictions where a judge rules against you rather, or overrules you, you file an appeal and you ask for a stay. And then we're there for the next 10, 15 years. This nation will grind to a halt if we don't change that. And I'm not commenting about Pt.2 or whoever it is, but the point is, if someone is accused of a crime, rightly or wrongly, he goes to court, he defends himself. Any process that allows him or the other side from having a long drawn-out trial just so that we don't get to the bottom of it is still responsible. And the law seeks to take that out. Why would anybody try to fight that, with all due respect? If this nation must make progress, that's one of the ways forward, I'm afraid.
Talking about solutions and the way forward, just as you alluded to, what can the country do about this inordinate delay that we see, especially with high-profile corruption cases? What is the solution?
Trust me, more than half of cases in court, they have no business being in court. And then lawyers take it and say, don't worry, let's go and harass them. And you pay me so much by way of percentage if I do win. So cases just go to court, and so they pile up. I was at a gathering and a lady judge was saying that she has 800 cases. How on earth will she manage? And I'm sure there are others who have more. But a case, a judge that has 100, 200, 300, if you look around any law firm, one of those cases can have a docket of this size. If you have 200, 300, 400, 500 of that, how fast can they do it? Think of it. So the first thing is to decongest the court, because a lot of those cases have no business being in court. Number two, and happily, I think the Lagos State government has started these small court claims. I advocated that about 8 years ago, because it happens in South Africa. They use good lawyers, senior lawyers who cannot be compromised. They sit between maybe 4 and 6, know all this legal gymnasium that we do, gymnastics that we do in court. And they give, so that would take out probably a third of the cases in court. And then if you brought a bad case and you lost, tell the loser to pay the cost of the senior advocate of Nigeria, which you will have secured prior to. Trust me, the cases will go down by at least 2 to 3/5. That is another major. But the other reason is this: some of the leadership of the judiciary, unfortunately, I don't think they understand what it means to manage time. In England, when your case is adjourned for a certain date, only God can take that date off. You must hold. But oftentimes, as I'm speaking to you, I'm supposed to be in the court in Port Harcourt. I was just going to board the flight, and thankfully, as we normally do, I asked my assistant, please call the court, the registrar, and see if they said the judge is not sitting this week. And we have that every time. Oh, I'm not feeling fine. I understand if a judge is feeling ill. Nobody should ask him or her to risk his or her health, because life is more important. But you cannot give cases. These dates were given to us about a month ago by the same judge. The judges should sit up and do what they need to do, and the cases will be decongested. And finally, from my own viewpoint, there are quite a few, but finally, I think also, I mean, of course, we lawyers, we waste a lot of time. If you know your client's case, I don't do it. And I know quite a number of lawyers don't, but some specialize in it, just to frustrate it. You want to get your money? I will see how you're going to do it. We're going to be in this court. There are certain rules of court that says once trial begins, you can only take up to 3 adjournments. That kind of thing should be enforced. It shouldn't even be for just trial. Let's set a time within which something must take place. Threshold, timelines, and let us enforce it. Now, when a judge enforces that, somebody writes a petition against him, it's been compromised. So when are you going to move forward? So we need to make sure that we put systems in place, and when the NJC receives any petition, if it's in relation to fast-tracking the process, let's just throw it out.